Okay. Put some straight dough on. At Buck Addiction, we only partner up with companies that have products that we truly believe in. Most people think of a deer lure as something only to use in hunting season, and especially during the rut. We like to use Black Widow's straight dough every time we go into an area, whether we're checking cameras, filling up feeders, just to try to cover up our scent and try to keep the area as undisturbed as possible. We've got the same situation with Grow the Bone. Most people use a protein feed like Grow the Bone for two reasons. Number one, to provide a year-long protein source, and number two, in bait states, as an attractant to get deer closer to their stands. With hunting season coming up, we've got a lot of trail cameras out trying to scout, try to get a few deer pinned down. We like to use Grow the Bone in front of our cameras to help get them to a specific spot to where we can see more of what we've got, what we're gonna have when the season gets to going. Take that card out, put the old card in. I'm gonna go ahead and put out some more growing of the bone.
As much feed as they've already ate, we ought to have a lot of pictures on there.
Well, it ought to be good. So much sign in here already. So this will help us get them directly in front of the camera. All right, let's go look at some pictures. In 2007, my family started Buck Addiction with two goals in mind: designing affordable food plot blends and feeding our addiction to hunting. I design the seed blends and run the company with my wife, Brandy. Tristan just likes to shoot stuff, and Cody runs the camera and keeps us entertained. We needed a squad to help bring Buck Addiction TV to life. Jordan provides the humor.
Just got pooped on again.
Matt provides the sarcasm.
Can't believe you got me out here filming when it's raining. That's stupid as well.
And Jason, well, he's just happy to be here. We also needed some partners to help us reach our goal. Delta Ag makes our plants grow. Grow the Bone makes our bucks grow. Black Widow helps us lure them in close. And Fin de Fur helps us with everything from our boots to our bows. Welcome to our world. The addiction starts now. Well, let's see if they found it. Yep, at least the doe's found it. Pretty quick. Usually doesn't take long. 9:30.
What time did y'all put that out?
4:30 in the afternoon. They found it at 9:30 in the evening. So it's quick enough. That smell of the Grow the Bone makes it happen that way. You know.
Smell from a long ways away.
See what kind of buck pigs we got on the other feeder. Oh.
That's the Big Ten, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There's a cool pig. That big 8 we've been seeing. I think he wanted the feeder.
He's defending the feeder, isn't he?
There we go, though. There's the pig.
Is that a new 10?
It's a new 10. Oh, he's not new.
Oh, we got pictures of him from last
I
year.
think that's a deer you found the shed off of. I don't know if you want to go put some stands together. I'm going to have to work on these memberships.
Okay.
We need to get that done so we can get these giveaway hunts and see if we can come up with another dog or ret. So
It's getting close.
or not deal with that and you can put stands together.
Sounds fun.
Tradition behind when you guys aren't playing ping pong and it's warmed up, y'all can play a little cornhole. I sent Kevin an email about 18 months ago, April of 2011, about doing some food plots, and I'd started watching the show with my son Ty, and I had a lot of questions, and I went to him because I'd started watching the show, and I asked him some questions about his product versus some of the other products out on the market, and the same day Kevin responded via email, and he answered all my questions, and he didn't take any pot shots at his competitors, which I thought was very honorable, and just gave a lot of good sound advice. And then he and I just started, developing a friendship.
Rhett and I were able to strike up a very good friendship. We emailed and texted and called each other all the time, and it got time for our hunt giveaway, and as luck would have it, his childhood buddy Doug Roper won the hunt. Doug didn't want to drive up by himself, and with all the work that Rhett had done for us and with the friendship we had struck up, I invited him to come on up and join the hunting camp.
Through my friendship with Rhett and a mutual friendship with Kevin Aller, I was able to buy a membership and get a chance to win a drawing through the Buck Addiction guys and go out to Missouri for a hunt during their rifle season. Once we got out to Missouri, there were things that were going on that were outside of our control. Kevin and those guys had a very strong acorn crop that year. Once we initially got there, the weather was warm, windy, even bringing in a bunch of rain at one point. And finally, on day 4, there was a break in the weather and our luck changed.
The hunting was tough. Temperatures were warm. There was just an amazing amount of acorns everywhere. Things weren't going well. I'd been with Rhett for 3 straight days. We had not seen very much, a couple of does here and there. On the 4th day, all of my camera help had to do other things. Jason went to work, Matt had to go home, Cody had to go to school. So I decided to go with Doug. He was in a really good spot, and we felt like probably the best place that we could see a buck.
It's a brand new spot for me. We're hunting the power line. It's the first time I've actually got a chance to hunt with Kevin behind the camera. And we got probably 3 to 4 inches of rain the night before, and the weather broke right at daylight. And finally the deer start moving. Early on in that morning, we see a group of does and yearlings, probably somewhere 8 to 9 deer. And Kevin told me, he said, if you want to fill your doe tag, feel free. And I said, you know what? Rhett and I have traveled a good ways to come out to Missouri. I can shoot a doe back home. Let's try to hold off and get a good buck.
Well, I focused on that hill. I didn't even see him step out.
I wouldn't either. I just happened to look down. I was like, holy cow, it's a gackle.
Yeah.
Unlike most of the other mornings, the deer were really moving well. We at least felt like there was some potential and that we had a chance.
Plus the fact that they're just looking back and looking back.
We're sitting there, we're chatting, we're having a good time. My attention is focused 150, 200 yards down the power line because that's where most of the deer are crossing. All of a sudden, Kevin says, shoot her. I can't see him. Kevin repeats, shoot her. And I'm like, where's he at? He says, he's right on top of us. And the deer popped up 40 yards to our left. It was a good deer, and we had to wait for the right time.
Second, he's cool. He's
a good kid.
He's a pretty good one. He's not a giant, but
Tell me. Tell me. Tell me.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Kill him. Smoked. Atta baby. That was quick.
Wow. You saw him.
Yeah, he come out right here. He's not a giant, but he's a good one. Got long main beams,
Yeah.
good tines.
Whew.
Awesome.
Kevin, you keep. I mean, I didn't see the does because I keep focusing so far down the hill, you know.
You know, things were tough, but again, I can't stress enough, it was things that were outside of our control. Huge acre crop for the guys at Buck Addiction. The weather was tough, but the main word here is perseverance. We didn't give up. We hunted hard for 4 days, and the end result was taking a buck of a lifetime and an opportunity for a lifetime for me, having a chance to go out to Missouri with one of my best friends and meet a guy like Kevin Aller and his crew. I can't say enough about him. It was fantastic. This is day 4 of our hunt up here with Kevin and the entire BOA crew. And when we first got here, the weather kind of took a turn for the worse. Really windy on day 1. Rain sets in on day 2 and 3. And we've just struggled to see deer. But we've hung in there, and morning got off to a great start. We started seeing a lot of activity with does at that point. And this guy steps out and comes out of nowhere about 40 or 50 yards away and walks away from us a little bit down the road and stops broadside and gives us a shot, and we were able to harvest him. So we closed out the trip with a really nice buck, and can't say enough about Kevin and BOA and his staff. Had a chance to hunt with Jason. We've had a chance to hunt with Cody and Matt, and all these guys are great, do a great job. Highly recommend them, recommend the product, and we really appreciate it.
Y'all gonna have to take back all the bad stuff you've been saying about me, though.
Oh, that's just on Facebook. We can delete that.
And we try to introduce them to something from the South. There's a game that's caught on a lot down here called Cornhole. Some people call it dingbat toss. And Brad and I and Doug had made some boards together. And Brad came up with this idea of, let's take the BOA emblem and let's throw it on a cornhole board. And so we did it, and it turned out great. And we brought them up and brought them some bags and a couple of boards for them to do. And while we were there, we found out that Kevin is quite the ping pong sniper. You about need to wear chest protector, face mask type deal. And so Doug was brave enough to take him on, and it was a pretty good fight. But Team DNR, we pretty much put the smack down on them in the cornhole arena down at the shop, as you can see.
Really?
Yes, and truly.
Full board. Get it, board.
Go ball.
7-0, DNR. Oh.
Well, the cornhole didn't go as well as I'd hoped. I'm super competitive. This is the first time I was playing, and these guys have played for a lot of years, so that one turned out bad. Well, if I was a jerk, I would show you all the ping pong matches that Doug and I did. Those did not turn out in his favor. They're my guests. I'm just going to let it slide. I'm going to let them revel in their victory from the cornhole. I'll be getting them at some point.
Not long after Rope and I got back to Georgia, Kevin had contacted us and wanted to come down south and kind of start grassroots down here with, we call ourselves BOA Southeast. So Doug and I and Brad, my brother Dustin, started putting our heads together about some meeting locations and ways we could contact people, and we had to secure a venue. And Kevin has ventured down here to South Georgia, and Kevin's fired up. We got some door prizes that we're going to give away, and we're going to do some filming. So we've had a great time with Kevin so far, and we're ready to get to this meeting and see how it turns out.
I want to give something that'll boom, get it out of the ground. If you've got moisture, brassicas are going to grow. You're not planting a corn crop. Like I say, this isn't for people. This is to get deer to a small plot to harvest. That's the intention. Now, when you go to talking the power perennial, when you're talking clover and chicory, something that's going to come back 3 to 5 years, you want to make sure. And I always recommend a soil sample on that. Out of all the jobs I have to do to make buck addiction happen, the one that makes me happiest is to be in a group of people that are all truly serious about food plots and wanting to learn how to manage their properties. It's very rewarding when you're able to help somebody achieve the goals that they want for their properties. little bitty tiny seed. So your turkeys, it's not an issue. Now, if you get a flock of blackbirds, it can be an issue. We try to time it out to where we throw this seed directly on top. So we got the seed bed ready to go. We see the rain cloud coming, we go plant. Now I think, is Ty up there? Oh no, there he is. You're gonna throw that little bit of fertilizer to get it started. Get you 2 or 3 bags of pelletized lime and throw it down. It's $6 a bag or $4. Throw it out. Now, that completely changes once again when you go to a perennial. If you got something you're gonna invest time in the long-term goal of that is you're not plowing up every year. When you're planting an annual, I want to get it out of the ground, and that's it. I'm not worried about nutrients. It's turnips and rape.
Well, the South Georgia meeting was a great success. We had a good turnout in spite of the fact that it was hurricane-like conditions the entire day. I want to thank Rhett and Doug for all the hard work they did. The list doesn't stop there. Mr. Brad, Dustin, everybody's parents, everybody's wives pitched in and made this thing a possibility. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Craig Jones with Zaxby's. He was nice enough to bring down all the food we needed for this, and I'm gonna tell you, if you've not eaten there, these hot wings, his chicken fingers, they're second to none. So make sure you stop by and give him a shout and tell him thanks for helping the buck addiction cause.
1, 2, 3.
I'm an addict!
At Grow the Bone, there's only one goal: to produce the most powerful attractant and mineral on the market. Since we started feeding Grow the Bone, we're getting more pictures, holding more bucks, we're seeing quicker antler growth, and much bigger body sizes. Grow the Bone is the only whitetail feed I've found that is 100% worth the money, and it's the only feed we'll use on buck addiction farms. Grow the Bone, the secret is out.
Go!
Well, after Kevin got down here, we're driving back to Vidalia on the interstate, and we're talking about some of the episodes from this season. And one of my favorite episodes was the 2 out of 3 ain't bad with the turkey hunting. And Kevin has earned the reputation of being a sprinter, Carl Lewis-like. And I called BS on it, and I said I think I could take you, and I challenged that old man to a 40-yard dash.
So Rick gets to laughing about the fact that I likened myself to Carl Lewis and making fun of how slow I was, and said, you know what, buddy? We've got a little saying where I come from. I said, why don't you put a little money where your mouth is? Let's race this thing out.
Ready, get set, go!
We were running, and I kind of started getting ahead of him a little bit, and the little Usain Bolt came out, and I just felt like for style points I should just cut right in front of him and just hope we don't cross up. And I pulled my calf earlier this summer, so I thought I was going to blow a tire, but luckily I survived, and I think I'll be able to survive the rest of the summer.
All right, he beat me. That I get. I'm 40 years old and not exactly in supermodel shape, if you know what I'm talking about. So I kind of expected that. I am very fortunate that I didn't tear a hammy, sorry Matt, or tear a calf muscle, sorry Rhett. Out of all of it though, I could have done without Rhett cutting in front of me at the end. It was enough that he was going to beat me. It's enough just for me to get beat, but I could have done without the little cockiness of him running and cutting me off.
My boy Rhett has recovered from a blown out calf injury in an alumni baseball game, but he has managed to absolutely smoke Kevin in his older age in the 40-yard dash. Kevin, his pride hurt, has to find another opportunity to redeem himself, but unbeknownst to him, he picks the wrong sport. He picks baseball.
Well, after Kevin's defeat in the 40-yard dash, he's looking for a chance to redeem himself, and he's finding some kind of sport that he thinks he can try to dominate. My boy Doug played 4 years at Clemson and 2 years in the Blue Jay organization, So the chatter got fired up and the gauntlet was thrown down. Doug was going to strike out Kevin in 5 pitches before Kevin put a ball in play in fair territory. That's ear hole right there, KO.
I've got 5 pitches to strike Kevin out. If he puts one in play within 5 pitches, he wins. Technically, Kevin's gonna win. However, please watch the footage closely.
Let's see. I'm gonna give you about 1,000 to 1 odds to put one between the lines.
With you, Brad, you seem to be in KO's corner. What are my chances with you?
Yeah, I'm kind of liking what I see here. Thinking maybe 65% or so.
All right.
Hey, what are those wet spots on your shirt?
Sweat. All right. Roper gave me none to never. Is that what you said? Slim to none. Rhett gave me 1,000 to 1. My boy Brad here, who's helping us run the camera, says 65%. So I like Brad.
I will.
In 5 pitches, all I gotta do is get a ball in fair territory. I like my chances.
4 pitches, you hadn't put one fair. So technically,
You can throw them off the top of the screen. I ain't gonna put one fair.
Hey, are you seriously gonna count that?
what was the rule?
Like a woman. It is quite difficult for me to admit that Kevin won our challenge. However, I would encourage you to watch the footage very closely, as it was absolutely a horrendous effort and basically a swinging bunt, as his rear end went one way and the bat went the other way. And really, he put the ball in play because of sheer luck.
I don't know what you're talking about, Doug. Weak? Seriously? Weak? All it had to be was a fair ball. I don't remember the contract saying anything about a smoked line drive or a home run. I made contact in fair. That means I win. Once again, you lose. I want to thank y'all for watching Buck Addiction TV. If you haven't had a chance to yet, go to our website at buckaddiction.com. Check out all of our new membership packages. We've got some awesome grand prize giveaways, some cool new clothing. You just need to go check it out. Don't forget to tune in next week for another episode of Buck Addiction TV.